So we're putting the final touches on the early action plan for our new project, and a couple of things kind of come to mind as I'm doing this right now. I'm working on the cash flow schedule on a monthly basis and where the money's going to go. This is looking really good, and where the money's going to go, and so I think one of the things that kind of stood out for me as I am working on this, um, let me just update this, is the fact that I was struggling to understand how the scope of work came back in the contract and what the client was looking to do, because typically clients kind of have this. Perspective of the work where certain things are done at certain times, and I think for good reason. There were components of the work that they decidedly wanted up front, and the benefit of it was they get the framework of two of the three major products out the way, but they also allow space creatively, for me to bill upfront for the project. They cannot, do, because they're a state entity. They cannot do, any upfront, payments or anything like that, or deposits. But within the first 30 days of the project starting, my ability to bill for, XYZ activities, upfront, it really equates to, I think, a little more than what I would require for a down payment. And yeah, it's pretty close. It's pretty close to my down payment requirement. So that was really cool. But what helped me navigate that was, the fact that I deciphered as much as I could, asked a bunch of questions, but probably more importantly, I got on the call and asked for a meeting to kind of go over these things, and even at the early juncture of the relationship while the contract is still going forward, and moving forward. And so, I think the key lesson to draw from it is, ask questions, don't sit on said information. Let's move forward, based upon what you're able to learn from the customer. And I think, something to kind of process through too is being sure that you don't have to work through challenges by yourself, particularly as you're getting started in your business. You don't have to feel like you have to be like a master of everything, knowledgeable of everything. The reality is, you're building a new relationship with a customer, a new customer, and even if it's an existing customer, the relationship development process is ongoing, and they're there to help you come up to speed because you are an expert in a particular area, and they are looking to leverage that expertise, as much as possible. But in order for you to do that successfully, you need to be able to capture the right information. So if you are feeling stuck, do not feel like you have to retain that information by yourself or work through that by yourself, but work with your customer, work with your partners, your friends, subcontractors, and in this age, work with AI to help you decipher what you need to decipher, come up to speed, to help you remove the mental logjam that's standing in the way, and move forward. And I found that conversation super helpful, super enlightening. We came to an agreement on a lot of things. And I discovered that this particular client, because we were hired without an interview, we were hired primarily based off of objective measurement tools. But discovered that this client and I had a lot of operational things in common, which means that we're going to operate probably in lockstep, and get a lot of things done. So there's a lot that can be discovered, by way of just having conversations and opening the door to learn, to grow, to ask questions, to listen, to receive, and to share as well, to contribute to the conversation that you're having with those that you are working with.